Hello everyone. My name is Riya Agarwal, and by degree I am an engineer and I've scored 99.59 percentile in DILR section of CAT 2018. So I teach live on Unacademy Plus. Okay, so Unacademy Plus, I'll tell you something about this before we start the class. Okay, so on Unacademy Plus you can subscribe as in a monthly subscription or for 6 months or for a year. Okay, so I'll tell you this the structure later. So now all the courses about this Unacademy Plus, they are live and structured courses like you are seeing now. So similar courses will be available for the complete preparation of our CAT. Okay, so like I take DILR, there are 9 more top educators along with me who teaches for CAT. So your complete all-round preparation for CAT will be taken care of. Okay, so these classes, there are like more than 30 plus hours of live sessions every day. Okay, there are 30 plus hours of live session every day that you can watch whenever. You can either watch it live, or if you are busy somewhere you can watch it later. The recorded lessons will be available to you till your subscription period. Okay, and then there are structured courses in English and Hindi. Fine. And then we have new courses that are published every month. So apart from this, you can also watch the recorded courses which are there on the platform, and you can watch them at any time. So if you click on subscription, if you want to take the subscription, it is chargeable as rupees 3000 for a month. So in that month you will be able to see the classes by all the top educators. You don't have to pay separately for separate sections or for separate teachers. So you get all under one roof. You get access to all the CAT top educators under one place. Okay, so these are all live classes and the charge is 3000 per month. Or if you go for 6 months subscription at once, then you are just paying 2250 per month. So the total is 13500. And if you pay for 12 months together, then you are only paying 1500 rupees per month. Okay, apart from this, like over and above this charges, you can get a 10% discount. Okay, like this is 3000, so you'll get it for 2700. Okay, a 10% discount on these amount if you use the referral code Riya Agarwal, which is my username on Unacademy. So if you use this code, you get an additional 10% off. Fine. Then we have if you subscribe, you can 1 month subscription, you cannot learn everything, because from concepts to practice to everything for CAT will be taken care of. So it's better if you at least go for a 6-month course. And also CAT is far away now, there are so many months left, so it's better you either go for a 6-month course or you can even go for a 12-month course. Okay, this courses will run for all CAT exams throughout the year. Okay, so now we will begin our course. This is a conceptual course on data interpretation and logical reasoning for CAT 2019. So today we are going to discuss about the CAT exam, about the DILR section, and we are going to see tips on how to solve it. So we will begin first with the syllabus of DILR. Okay, so here is the information about me. I am an electronics and communication engineer and I have scored 99.59%. Also, you can follow me on Unacademy Learning app, where you can find my conceptual courses, practice papers, past year solved papers, mock test papers on DILR topics. This is the link to my profile. So let's begin and see the DILR syllabus. So first we'll begin with logical reasoning. Okay, so logical reasoning, mainly there are these topics. What are they? Number 1, sitting arrangement. Okay, so in these type, there are 2 types of basic arrangement: linear and circular or closed figure arrangement. So instead of circle, they might even tell you that 6 people are seated at the edges of the hexagon, pentagon. They can use any closed figure in that matter. Okay, but mostly the questions are based on circular. and then there are single line, double line, sitting arrangement. Okay, so some people are seated in some order and you are given clues to figure out who is seated beside whom and answer the question. Fine. Next is complex data arrangement. Okay, complex data arrangement, you are given some set of data, some parameters, like suppose you are given 5 names of people, 5 cities they belong to, and 5 color they likes, but nothing is given in any order. So what do you have to do? You are given after that a set of clues. Okay, and based on the clues you have to find out like arrangement. You have to arrange them and maybe figure out which person belongs from which city and likes which color. So this is basically an example of what? Matching puzzle. Okay, matching puzzle. So actually we will discuss this topic together, the complex data arrangement and puzzles. I'll call it complex data arrangement or puzzles, under which there are several subcategories like this type of questions which are called matching puzzles, because here we are matching some parameters. Okay, so it's called matching puzzle. Then we have one more, it's called team formation. What is team formation? So suppose you are given 10 people's name. Okay, 10 people's name, and you are said that 3 people belong from college X. Okay, 3 of them belong from college Y, and remaining 4 belongs from college Z. Okay, so you need to figure out from the clues which person belongs from which college. So this is like we are dividing these 10 peoples in these 3 groups based on some clues. So these type of questions are asked in team formation. Also then we have ranking puzzle. What is ranking puzzle? So in that maybe some question is given like there are 6 people who participated in a competition, then who stood first, second, third, like that. So you have to rank those people in an order. Now to increase the complexity of the puzzle, what will they do? So that is called complex data arrangement. In that they will mix a few things, like they will give you 10 people who are studying in 3 different colleges X, Y and Z. You need to figure out who studies in which college, and also they will give you that these 10 people likes these 10 colors. So you need to also match them with the color. So like that they can mix and match one or more, like 2 or more topics to make the complex problems. That's how complex problems are made. That's how difficult problems are made. But if your concepts are clear regarding each of these topics, like suppose if your complex data, if your matching puzzle topic is absolutely clear, if your team formation topic is absolutely clear, if your ranking puzzle topic is absolutely clear, then what happens? Even that complex problem becomes easy for you. So it's very important to build the base first. Okay, it's very important to build the foundation first. So that's what we are going to do in this course. In this course, we are going to build our foundation. So you will find very easy problems and you will think that these are not CAT level problems. But what are we doing there? It may not be CAT level problems, but we are building our foundation. And if our foundation is strong, later we will be able to solve complex problems as well. So never think that in the beginning you should start practicing tough questions at once. No, you should always first work on your concepts. Okay, because concepts can take you to 100 percentile and then practice. Fine, then we have one more topic, that is quantitative reasoning. In that, this is similar to complex data arrangement or puzzle only. It is just different in terms that in this numerical arrangement have to be done. Like suppose they'll give you 6 people are there and they spend some different amounts, and that amounts are all unique amount, but they have only 3 digits, that is 1, 2 and 3. All the 6 amounts are different amount, but each of the 6 amount have only these 3 digits. Then what will you do? Then you will need to first find what can be the numbers. So it can be 1, 2, 3, it can be 1, 3, 2, it can be 2, 1, 3, it can be 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2 or 3, 2, 1. These 6 different numbers we have got, right? Now we have to find out who have spent which amount. So 6 names will also be given. We need to now find out who have spent which amount. So these are the questions which comes under quantitative reasoning. Fine. Then we have one more important topic in logical reasoning. It is called games and tournaments. Games and tournament, because after the introduction of this on-screen calculator from 2015 onwards, this topic have become very important, because this topic is absolutely about pure logic. Absolutely about pure logic. Okay, because in games, each time if they give you a different board game or any different game, question based on any different game, then there is no logic behind it, right? You have to just read the information given. Sorry, there is no concept behind it. You have to just read the information given, understand it and solve it. So there is pure logic in that. Fine. So even if you have no knowledge about the game that is given to you, still you can crack the question if you have the ability to interpret data, to understand data and understand how to use it. So that is what we will learn in this course, because this is the foundation course. Fine. So we have here games and then tournament also. There are different questions that can be found, but then there are a few concepts based on the problems that we have seen until now in the CAT exam. In the past year papers, the questions that were given to us, from that I have accumulated a few concepts that we will discuss in detail in the games and tournament class. Okay. Now let's see data interpretation. So data interpretation is all about data and calculation speed, approximations, where you can do it, how much you can do it, when you can do it. So all those things we will discuss while we are discussing the problems, because in data interpretation there is no much concepts or anything. Straight away we will have to see questions to understand the concept. Okay, so we'll begin with easy problems and then see the tougher ones. So the data, if it is given in a table format, it is called a data table question, and this is the most important one. Okay, you have to understand this in a very good way, because other forms, these all 4 forms, bar charts, pie charts, XY graph or line graph, caselet, all of these can be converted to a data table for ease. Okay, so therefore data table is the most versatile format where a data can be given. For this one reason that it can be converted. The other reason is that a lot of data can be given in a table. Can be given in a data table, unlike any other format. Okay, a data table may have any number of rows and any number of rows and any number of columns. Okay, so that's why it is the most versatile format. Then we have bar charts. What are bar charts? So this kind of bars are given. It can either be single bar chart or 2-line bar chart or 3-line, 4-line. Okay, so any number of bar charts can be there. It just goes on increasing the complexity. And sometimes instead of giving you the vertical bars, they might give you questions in horizontal bars like this. Okay, so that all we will see. Then we have pie chart. In pie chart, a circle is there and this kind of figure is there. There are these sectors which are representing different data, different values. Okay, but these values, so in pie chart we see that not much can be done, right? Not much parameters can be added. They might give you 2 pie charts to give you 2 different values, 2 different set of values. Okay, but we saw in 2018 paper there was a question on pie chart which was based on a multi-layered pie chart. What was that? A multi-layered pie chart. So it had like this 3 layers. So here 2016, 2017, here there were 4 quarters mentioned, and here all the 12 months of these 2 years. So the values were mentioned like this. But the question was very easy. right? You didn't have to do anything. The question was very, very easy. Even if it was a complex looking pie chart, even if it was a multi-layered pie chart, the question was very easy. So that's how it is. Next we have line graph or XY graph. So what is the difference between both? A line graph will have lines like this, and the XY graph will have plotting like this with points. Okay, so all this we can convert into a table. Like we can put these values in one column and these values in the other column. So if these values are not given on the y-axis, so these values, if it is not mentioned, it is better that we convert it to table. So while we are solving the question, I'll teach you when to convert the figure into the data table or when not to convert it. Okay. Next we have caselet. So what is a caselet? In a caselet, these informations, instead of giving a figure, they give these information in a paragraph. Okay, so they give this information in a paragraph, and you need to definitely convert this information into a data table in case of caselet, and in very rare case you might be able to solve without the table. Okay, so that's how it is. So that's why it's important that we learn how to convert all these to a table. But what after converting into a table? Therefore I have written important here, because if you learn this first and then if you learn how to convert this into a table, then you are done with the complete data interpretation section. Okay, so we will see this section in detail. Next we have verbal reasoning and other reasoning types. So there are some topics which are not part of CAT, but if you are preparing for CAT, you might be preparing for other MBA entrance exams as well. Okay, so for those in some other MBA entrance exams, they ask some topics which are not part of CAT, but those are important topics for those exams, like syllogisms, binary logic, Venn diagram, blood relation, number letter series. Then there are more directions. Okay, then for that exam there is one important topic that is called decision making. It forms a complete section in that exam. Okay, so in this course here we are just going to discuss Venn diagram in detail, because that is also part of CAT. The Venn diagram question was asked this 2018 and 2017 as well. Therefore we are going to see Venn diagram in this particular course on YouTube, but other things we don't have time to discuss it here. But if you join that course, you will be able to find all these things being discussed in detail for two classes, and many problems being discussed. Okay, so let's begin how to prepare. So we have with lots of practice, for logical reasoning, with lots of practice you need to develop what? So initially when you begin your preparation, okay, I would not recommend you to begin with a mock test, okay, because that might lower down your confidence maybe. So before that, you can just work on developing your logical skills, okay, developing your logical thinking. And how will you do that? Pick any problems on puzzles, okay, any irrelevant, even if it is not relevant to CAT, it's fine, because you are just training your brain to think logically. So pick up any question from anywhere on logical reasoning and try solving it. Okay, so when you do that, you will eventually train your brain to think logically, to analyze information. Okay, that ability to analyze information will be developed, and then you can reach proper conclusion in as less time as possible. So initially you will have some problem, why this clue is given, what it is trying to convey, because in logical reasoning you will find lot of indirect clues. There will not be direct information, there will be indirect clues. Like instead of saying that Ram likes yellow color, okay, instead of saying that, they will tell you Ram doesn't like red color. So that is called, this is called an indirect clue. This is called a direct clue. So there are very minimum direct clues that they will give you, and the more indirect clues they give you, the more tough the question becomes. Okay, so therefore it's very important that you develop the skills of predicting, of interpreting information from these indirect clues, because once you learn that, then logical reasoning becomes very easy for you. Okay, so therefore don't focus on the CAT questions first, focus on developing your brain to think logically. Okay, then later we will work on ability to pick sets wisely. So when you have practiced so much that you will be able to see and know if you can solve that set or you should move on. Okay, later next let's see. Assuming data of any kind is injurious to your score. Okay, so keep this in mind. Don't assume any kind of data in logical reasoning. If there are two or more possibilities that you're getting from some clue, consider all until one of the possibilities or other possibilities are ruled out and you are left with just one possible solution. Okay, so until that, do not assume like take all the possibilities. Do not assume that okay, it's given that it is not that, then it means it is this. No, you have to take all the possible cases that are there. Like if Ram doesn't like red color, then Ram can like either yellow or blue or green. If these are the four colors given and four people's name is given, suppose. Four people's name is given and four colors are given: red, green, yellow and blue. So if it is given to you that Ram doesn't like red, then there are equal chances that Ram may like yellow, blue or green. So until they tell you that another person is there, Lakshman, who likes yellow. If they tell you that, then this possibility of Ram liking yellow gets ruled out, because there are four people and four colors and each of them likes a different color. Then suppose then we have two more possibilities, blue and green for Ram. Now suppose they tell you that there is another person, Bharat, who likes green color. So as soon as you know that, you will know that Ram likes which color? Ram likes blue. Okay, so this is how it is. This is what you have to learn. Okay, so be very careful about not assuming any kind of data. Stick to the information that is conveyed in the given problem. Think. This is, I think, the most commonly committed mistake in logical reasoning section. Okay, because people tend to assume things. So if you don't assume things, you will never make a mistake in this section. Okay, so here see, we had two possibilities. We ruled out one with this clue, we ruled out the other one with this clue, and finally we knew that Ram likes blue. Okay, so be patient, use all the clues properly, and you will have what you need. Because anyways, if they are giving you a question and they are giving you like fourth set of questions right after the information, so if they have given you some information and you think that is not sufficient to answer the questions, it will never be so. Because whatever information if they have given, suppose you would not find out. Okay, like suppose here only, if it was not given to you that Bharat likes green. Okay, if it was not given to you that Bharat likes green and there was no more clue, then what would have you done? Then we would have taken Bharat likes either green or blue or red. One more possibility is there for Bharat. But Ram likes either blue or green. Because Ram cannot like red. Ram does not like red color. Like that. Like that you have to take possibilities. So maybe you don't get the exact complete solution for each of a person. But you will definitely be able to answer the questions with the clues given. Okay, the question setter have given the clues in such a way that not for you to get the perfect arrangement. No, for you to get answers for all the four questions. Okay. So let's see about data interpretation. Data interpretation, interpreting the question correctly will play an important role here. So because the data is neatly presented to you, maybe in a table form or in a pie chart or in a bar graph, line graph format. So the data is neatly given to you. You just have to understand what is given to you. Okay, what is given and what is asked. If you understand these two things, you will be able to find the answer. Okay. So we have to, after that, since the data is given necessary to solve the question will be given directly. Okay, choosing sets wisely is important, as some sets could be deceptive. Okay, there could be a large table given to you, but that can be an easy set. Okay, so always like try to see through this given information and try to see if you can solve it or not. Some sets could be deceptive, while in some there can be a small looking table, easy looking table, but when you go to solve it, it will be very, very challenging. Okay, so it would seem less challenging but turn out otherwise. Or if there is a large table, don't get scared, because anyways all the data cannot be used. You are given only 4 questions after the problem set. So even with that large table, you have to solve just 4 questions. So don't worry, don't panic by seeing that large table. Try to solve the question. Okay, and with practice, if you practice a lot, you can overcome this threat of being deceived, because you will be able to see through the information if you have practiced a lot. You can just see the figure and tell if you can solve it or not, if it is trying to show itself as less challenging or it is actually less challenging. Okay, and then mostly in DI, it involves high school mathematics topics like ratio, percentage, averages, profit, loss, etc. Okay, so it is important to keep the basics clear to attain maximum calculation speed and efficiency. Okay, so you should be aware of these topics: ratio, percentage, average, profit, loss, because these are part of DI. Now let's see how to crack DILR. So the first tip I will say is practice. Second tip is more practice and more practice. So why am I saying that? Because any teacher can only teach you the concepts, but unless you practice yourself, then it's very difficult. Okay, if you want to reach that 100 percentile mark, then you will have to practice more and more by yourself. So practicing will help you develop a lot of things that cannot be done with the help of any teaching or anything. Okay, it will make you more fast, accurate and confident. So this is what it will do to you. Therefore, you should practice a lot. Okay. Let's see. Number 2, figure out your strong and weak areas or topics. Okay. So whichever are your strong areas, you will eventually get to know it. So you can work more hard on that so that you can save some time from there and also be accurate. Okay. Like if it is a strong area, then you can try solving it within less time. Okay, you can time yourself and try solving it within less time, because even a minute or 2 saved in the exam can be helpful. You can solve, maybe you can finish solving another set in that time. So it's very important to save time. So work on strong areas to help you save some time, and also for being accurate, because if it is your strong area, you should not miss out or get any silly mistakes done there. You should get all the correct answers. Then know your weak areas also and work hard on them as well, because a little difference here is a big difference. Okay, so your target is not to score 100% marks, but just to score more than others. So each question which is correctly attempted, incorrectly attempted and not attempted makes a huge difference. Okay, so that's why I'm saying you have to work hard on your weak areas as well, and try a little hard to like go beyond the mark. Okay, then keep an eye on the watch. So you have to like not spend half an hour while practicing on a particular question. If you are spending half an hour on a particular question in the exam, also you will have the same tendency, and you might be able to solve only 2 questions in an hour, which is not at all good. Okay, so you must be able to solve at least 4 to 5 problem sets in the exam. So for that you should at least 4 to 5, I'm saying that is just for a good percentile. But if you want to do exceptionally well, if you want to get 100%, you have to do even more than that. So to be able to do that, you should take around 10 to 12 minutes maximum, I'm talking. Okay, 10 to 12 minutes max on the particular set. But this seeing the time, keeping an eye on the watch should not make you panic. Okay, you should be calm, composed, so that you can focus on the question. You should have an eye on the watch and simultaneously be calm and composed and focused on the question. Then only you will be able to solve it. So that also you will have to bring to yourself with practice. Okay, while you practice, you can assess which kind of problem requires more time by clocking yourself. And you can also play the challenge game with yourself. That is, you can move out of your comfort zone. If you are able to solve a certain problem in 15 minutes, try to solve a similar problem in 12 minutes next time, 10 minutes after that, like that. Okay, so once you achieve your target, you can make it more challenging. It's time to test your limits. Okay, but that's what I was saying, you don't stress out. Time challenge does not mean you should stress out. Rather, you should stay calm, focused to help you win it. Okay, so you can try this, you can develop, you can cultivate this habit to yourself, that even by seeing the time, you are calm, composed and focused. Then how practice helps? So reasoning and interpretation abilities. Reasoning and interpretation abilities will increase. Okay, because anyways, if you practice a lot, what will happen? You will be able to reason more. Your mind will be trained now, it will be sharp now, it will know what to do when you see the clues, because you have practiced so much. So that reasoning and interpretation of questions abilities will increase in you, and it will in turn increase your number of attempts and hence increase the score. Okay, so also you can learn from your mistakes while you practice. So the more you practice, the frequency of committing a silly mistake reduces, it comes down. Okay, number 3, your problem solving speed will considerably increase. How will you work on that? So you work on that by timing yourself, by clocking yourself. And then obviously your confidence will boost up, because if you have practiced a lot, then you are definitely well prepared. Though even if you have practiced thousands of questions, in the exam you will get 8 problem sets, will be all new sets, but still you will have confidence that you can think logically and solve any question. So that confidence will take you to your 100 percentile mark. Okay, so it will boost your confidence and you will be able to face tough questions with an optimistic outlook. Now let's see some basic tips. That is, so like basic tips while you are solving the question, you should keep that in mind. So see, when you are reading the logical reasoning question, you should be able to, you should be constantly talking to yourself. When you read a particular line, you should think in your mind, okay, this is what this information is trying to convey and this is what I know now. So you should keep talking to yourself. Also, that will keep your focus in place. Okay, your mind will not wander here and there. It will be in place. It will be in the question. You will be focused, and also your interpretation and analyzing skills will increase. Okay, so keep on analyzing the information as you read it, not like verbal section, not like reading comprehension, that you first read the whole whole portion once and then see the questions. Here also you will see there only, but like just reading the half part, you should first analyze it, then begin with the clues. Use one clue at a time, then use the next, use the next, use the next. You cannot remember all the clues at once. So no point reading it first and then beginning the problem, right? So I'll tell you all this while we are solving the question. I'll explain you how to do this. Okay, then if possible, we should also, suppose this clue, okay, these 3-4 clues are there and you are trying to use this in order and you have made this arrangement here. So you are trying to match 3 parameters: name of the people, cities they belong to, color they like. Okay, so first clue is this first person A likes yellow color. So you'll put A here and in the color column you can put yellow. Fine. Next, it's given that B does not like red color. So what will you do? Put B here and put red here and put a cross. Because this is not a direct clue, you cannot put red here, and now you don't know whether B likes blue or green. So there are 4 colors: yellow, red, blue and green, and there are 4 people A, B, C, D. But it is given that B does not like red. So now there are 2 possibilities. Since A already likes yellow, so B can like either blue or green. Either blue or green. So this information I can't fill in the table now because I don't know which one should I fill, blue or green, or should I keep it like this, blue or /green. that is not known until I have finished all the clues. So what will I do for the time being? I'll use this information that B does not like red, and I'll put it as a visual clue like this. So I put here red and I put a cross. So these are called visual clues. Okay, so that we do not have to read through the clues again and again, because that will simply waste our time. Then you should be able to judge the information on the basis of its importance or relevance. Okay, you should be able to judge the information based on its importance or relevance. So, like whether the information is important or not. So anyways, you should put it all as a visual clue so that it can finally help you to complete this arrangement and answer the question. Then you should focus on keywords, because that can completely change the meaning of the statement. Keywords like all, some, none, other than, only, unless, if and only, if, and some prefixes like non, un, dis, etc. Okay, focus on this. Do not miss out this word. And then use organizational or diagrammatic approach like tables, symbols and diagrams to address the information in a systematic manner. Like here for this matching puzzle, I've taken this table. So similarly, after reading the first part, after reading the first 2-3 lines of the question, you will know what kind of systematic figure you should take to solve your question. Okay, you will know that when you have the question with you. This will minimize the work involved and will help you solve different sets of questions based on one main problem. Okay, so it will help you solve the four, like if you have formed this systematic table, and once after using all the clues, if you are able to finish it, then you can quickly within a minute answer the 4 questions that are given to you, right? Then we need to develop the skills to understand and realize, is it worth spending much time to solve a question or leave it? Okay, so like if a set takes you more than 15 minutes to solve, more than 15 minutes or 15 to 20 minutes or even more than that, then it's better that you don't solve it, because in that time you will be able to solve 2 to 3 sets, 2 to 2.5 sets at least in 20 minutes, right? So this thing you have to develop with practice, that what kind of problem can take you much time. Even after reading the question in first 2-3 minutes, you will be able to realize that the problem is going to take much time to solve it. So at that time it's not much late. Even if you have given your 2-3 minutes to the question, you can leave it and move on to the next question. Okay, because in that time, that much time that you will invest here, maybe you will be able to solve at least 2 sets. Okay, even if you have wasted 2-3 minutes, it's fine. Then most important, do not make assumptions. Even if the topic is familiar to you, be stuck to the information that is provided. Okay, don't go behind the fact. Don't think that okay, this is what I already know. But if they have given something else, then stick to that. That is only true. If they are saying it's not day, it's night, it's in the day, if they're saying it's not day, it's night, you have to take that. You have to take that as the true information. You don't have to use your mind there. So do not make your own assumptions. Just use the information that is provided. Okay, limit yourself to finding the answers needed and nothing more. Then checking the choices before you start solving can help you. So this I'll tell you where it can help you. I'm not talking about solving the questions based on options approach. No, we cannot do that. We cannot do that in all the questions. And finding out that in which question we can do it in the exam will simply be a waste of time. Okay, so don't go by that method. I'll just tell you that somewhere, if you're not getting a hint, if you're not getting any clue, then you can go and check the questions and options to help you with the question. Okay. Eliminate choices that are completely off the mark or can be ruled out by individual conditions. This might not always help. Okay. So this is what is options approach, but this might not help always. Then use timer even while you practice. So that will develop a good habit of practicing within time. Okay. So let's talk with some examples now. So here we have 7 university cricket players. 7 university cricket players are honored to be are to be honored at a special luncheon. So these players are seated on the dais along one side of a rectangular table. Okay, so in a rectangular table there are 7 people seated along one side. Okay, so we are not going to solve it completely here. Like, I'm just showing you how to proceed. See, I didn't read the whole question. What did I do? So first I read the first line and I got to know what? That there are 7 people who have to be arranged. Arranged where? Along one side of the rectangular table. So before reading further, I first got my arrangement ready. I made a rectangular table and on one of the dais I have made seat for 7 people. Now I'm going to read the clues and fill this arrangement. So we have, first clue is A and G have to leave early and must be seated at the extreme right end of the table. So what did I do? A and G, I'll place them here. Correct? Is this correct? No, this is not correct, because it's not given to us whether A sits at the corner of the table or G sits there. So we are not going to assume that they are seated in this A and G order only. It's not given. It's not given that A and G have to leave early and they are seated at the extreme end of the table respectively. If the word respectively were given, then A and G would have seated like that. But since it is not given, what will we take? We will take both the possibilities. So we have A or G, G or A. Okay, don't assume, we are taking both the possibilities. Next, B will receive man of the match and must be in the center chair. Center chair is this. So B, this is a direct clue. So we have placed B in the center. Now, C and D are bitter rivals for the position of wicketkeeper, dislike one another and should be seated as far apart as possible. Okay, so if C and D have to sit as far apart as possible, still they cannot sit at 2 corners because one corner position is taken by either A or G. So out of those positions that remains, C or D can sit here or at this place. Right, so they are as far apart as possible, and again we don't know the order. Again we don't know if C is seated at the corner or D. So we have taken both the possibilities. Next we have E and F are best friends and want to sit together. So it's just given that E and F sits together. It's not given whether E sits in the second position or third. So what will we do? Again we'll take both the possibilities. E, F, F, E. Fine. So this is the arrangement that we have got. Now we don't have more clues to figure out the exact arrangement. We don't know who is seated where. But see, they will give you the clues to be able to answer the question, not to have the correct arrangement. Okay, so here we do not have the complete arrangement, but yet we can answer the questions. Let's see how. So which of the following may not be seated at either end of the table? C, we see here. Okay, so C we see here can be seated at one of the ends of the table. Okay, C can be seated at one of the ends, D can be seated at the end, G can be seated at the end, but can F be seated? No. So what is the answer? F. Question 2. Which of the following pairs may not be seated together? May not be seated together. E and A. E and A cannot be seated together. We see because E can take either this or this position, while A can take either this or this position. So E and A can never be seated together. So that is our correct answer. Let's see others also to check if our solution is correct. So we have B and D. So we see if B is seated in the center anyways. If D is seated next to B, then B and D can be seated together. C and F. So if C is seated here and F is seated here, then they can be seated together. G and D. So if G is seated here and D is seated here, then they can be seated together. So it's E and A who cannot be seated together. Okay. Next. So this is how the questions are. Okay, now in this case we see there are directly the clues and there is no information at the beginning. Okay, just one statement that says there are 3 houses on each side of the road. So as soon as I read that, instead of reading the clues, what will I do? I'll make one arrangement where I can arrange the clues. So what kind of arrangement? On each side of the road. So I'll take 2 sides of the road and there are 3 houses on these sides. Here and here there are three houses on each side of the road. This is the road. So this arrangement I have got by reading the first part of the clue. Okay. Now, I have some clues. So I'll begin with those. First clue says there are 6 houses labeled as PQRSTU. Okay. So we have to put in these boxes the labels of the house PQRSTU based on the clues. The houses are of different colors, namely red, blue, green, orange, yellow and white. So different colors are given. We have to not only arrange the houses in this boxes, we have to also match them with different colors and find out their different heights. Okay. T, the tallest house, is exactly opposite to the red colored house. But we don't know where T should be placed because all the positions are identical as of now. So T should be opposite to the red color house and T is the tallest. So I'll write first here. So I will arrange the these 6 houses in the tallest to shortest order. So tallest is first. So I've wrote out this down as the visual clue. This have to be placed in the arrangement, but I don't know exact position where this should be arranged. So I've kept it aside right now as a visual clue, which I'll use later. Next is the shortest house is exactly opposite to the green colored house. So this also I can use as a visual clue. Shortest house means 6th house is exactly opposite to green colored house. Okay, then I have U, the orange colored house is located between P and S. Okay, if U is located between P and S, there is 2 possible arrangements now. Okay, there is 2 possible arrangement. That is, U will be here only. Here it can be either P or S. Here it can be either S or P. Okay, so I cannot fix that because I cannot assume that P is on the left side of U. It's not given, right? So I cannot assume I'm taking P or S on the left side and S or P on the right side because I don't know who is on which side, but I know that U is in the center. And also the color of U is orange. Next, R is the yellow colored house exactly opposite to P. Now, if the R is exactly opposite to P, we don't know where P is. P have 2 possible positions to be in. So it's better that we take 2 separate diagrams to write down these 2 possibilities. So here let's take P here, P, U and S. So that opposite to P is R. And on this side, let's take S and P. Okay, so here R will be on this side. U is again the orange colored house. Fine. Then we have R, the yellow colored house. Okay, R is the yellow colored house. Yellow is exactly opposite to P. Q, the green colored house, is exactly opposite to U. So if Q is exactly opposite to U and Q is the green colored house, it means that U is the shortest house because here we had one clue which said the shortest house is opposite to the green colored house. So U will be the shortest house. Now only T is left and T we know is the tallest house first and T is opposite to red, which means S is the red colored house. Red, T first. Clear? Next, do we have any more clue? Yes. P, the white colored house. So P's color is given as white, which means T's color is what? It is blue. Okay, if P's color is white, T's is blue because that is the only color that is left. That is the only color that is left. Fine. Now, what else? P is taller than R but shorter than S and Q. P is taller than R but shorter than S and Q, and we know that T is the tallest and U is the shortest. So this is what we have got. So this is first, that is second or third, we don't know who is what among S and Q. For P, P is fourth, R is fifth and U is sixth in the order of height. Okay, so we have got everything. We just could not figure out whether S is the second tallest or Q is the second tallest. Okay, apart from that, we have got all the colors, we have got all the arrangements. Now, what is the color of the tallest house? So we can say it is blue. Okay, similarly, we have more questions. So I'll not now get into the detail of the question. You can solve the question yourself. I just tell you how to proceed. Okay, so see, 5 friends meet every morning at Sri Sagar restaurant for an idli vada breakfast. Each consumes a different number of idlis and vadas. The number of idlis consumed are 1, 4, 5, 6 and 8, while vadas are 0, 1, 2, 4 and 6. Below are some more facts about who eats what and how much. Okay, so as soon as I read this, I'll make a table. Okay, one more thing, sometimes all the parameters are not given in the first part. So for that you will have to once not read the clues but scan through the clues. Like when I scan through the clues, I see another word is there, that is chutney. So I see that someone is eating without chutney, someone is eating with chutney. So I know that there is an additional parameter, that is chutney. Okay, so here I will make a table of 4. Name, number of idlis, number of vadas, and whether chutney was taken or not. So I have this 4 parameter table ready. Now I'll use the clues and one by one and I'll put it in the table. Okay, so try solving it on your own. Let's see more. Next question. So then questions on this type can be given. This is a question on line graph. So here we see these values are not given. What are these values? That is exactly not mentioned. So it's better that instead of in each question, instead of seeing through the this diagram and trying to figure out the value, you can simply make a table. Okay, you can convert this question into a table because these values are not mentioned in the graph. So take this table, put the years here, 83 to 91 year, then food production and fertilizer production. Okay, put the values. So for food production, this is the green graph. So we see here the value is first 6.5, then 5, 5, then again 6.5, 6.5, 5, 5 and 6.5, 6.5. Okay, similarly for fertilizer production it is 2.5, 3.5, 3.5, this is 2 I think, 2, 2, again 3.5, 1, 1, 1. Okay, so we can put this value and then we can go into the solving. It will be much easier. Okay, then questions on this type can be given. There can be more than more than 4 line graphs. So sometimes these questions can be solved just by seeing the graph, because the question sometimes can be so easy that it can be solved just by visually seeing the graph by using the slope maybe or something like that. But sometimes if it cannot be solved, so you can get that idea by seeing the questions. Okay, if you glance at the questions once, you will get the idea what you have to do. So and then again see these values are not given. So what can you do? It's better you can quickly make a table. It's better that you invest some 1 to 2 minutes to make the table first and then solve the question, rather than giving some time on seeing the figure and determining the values in each and every question. That will waste much time than investing time in the table in the start. Okay, so see here 6 graphs are there, but this question can be solved by using most of the questions here can be solved by using just the graph. Okay, what is the following? The graph of potassium chloride, that is blue in color, this one at 80 degrees. So see this value, mark it. Next check, mark all the 4 values and then you can see which is the greatest. For this you don't need table, and anyways if you sit and convert this into a table, it will take a great deal of time. So it's better that you try to solve it with the graph itself. So this is how you will, when you're practicing, you will eventually know which one to convert and which one to not. Okay, then we might have a bar graph question. So here we see 4-line bar graphs are given, and again here no values are marked, so it's better we can take a table for this. So I'll help you solve all these questions in the respective classes. Now we are just discussing what kind of questions can be given. So just keep calm and we will see the concepts in this particular course. It is a 10 days course. Today was the first class. So every day I'll see you at 10 p.m. here on YouTube. You can come and join this class. We are going to start discussing the conceptual topics from tomorrow onwards. And you can just keep calm and practice a lot, and automatically you will have your 100 percentile with you. Okay, so happy learning, thank you and all the best. And I'll just remind you once more about the subscription thing on Unacademy, because their full length courses are taken on all the subjects. So on all the 3 sections of yours, DILR, quant and verbal reasoning will be covered there. Okay, and by all top educators. You can see their live classes and learn from them at your convenient time. So you can check the subscription details in the beginning of the session, and also it's given below in the comment section. Okay, so you can see that, and if you have any doubt you can comment and ask me. The team will help you with the subscription plan if you want to take it. Thank you and all the best. I'll end the class now.